Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Poppin'. It's Steve about to react to this impressive vid. It's titled Ice Spice Dismisses Colorism. Babyface Hates Beyonce. Anita Baker kicks Babyface off her tour. What is happening? Let's see what's going on. Let's watch.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the impressive channel. Ice Spice recently did an interview with Teen Vogue, and she basically dismissed the idea that she benefited from colorism. There's been a lot of discourse online saying that Ice Spice only got to where she is because of her lighter skin. And oftentimes she has been compared to people like Flo Milli, who has been working harder but hasn't reached the level that Ice Spice has reached. But when Ice Spice was asked about colorism in this interview, she said, "I've seen those opinions. I feel like that's not something personal to me. I feel like that's been the conversation for generations and forever since the beginning of time." I try not to feed into the negativity because I also see that when people are trying to make that point, it's not out of a good place. They end up putting somebody else down. Now,
I don't see anything wrong with her saying that. What's she supposed to say? Yep, they right. I only made it because I'm light skinned. But what's she supposed to say? and people are, making those comments and trying to diminish, I don't want to say talent because I don't think she has any talent either. I just don't. I've already given my opinions about her. But people are trying to diminish, her rise to fame. And, of course, she's going to dismiss that. And colorism is always a conversation. People are always going to bring it up. It's always the topic of discussion. Whenever any light-skinned girl gets any type of popularity, people are screaming colorism. And obviously there is some validity to it to a certain degree, but we can't blame that on everything. We can't just say every light-skinned person is only where they are at because they're light. Like, I just don't think that's a fair conversation either, or a fair point to make either. But yes, of course, colorism, I feel like it plays into it. But to say it's the sole purpose of her success, I don't think that's fair either.
I agree with what Ice Spice said on that last point. I do think a lot of times people bring up the topic of colorism regarding her career because they kind of do want to put somebody else down. They either want to put her down or put down the person they're comparing her to. But it does say a lot that she kind of dismissed the idea that she benefits from colorism. And I can't say that I'm really surprised by her response. If someone benefits from a system, they're not going to challenge it. So,
also, how can you even confirm that? You can't really measure these things. How is she supposed to know how much more successful she became because of her skin complexion? How can she support that? I guess, she could have said, yes, colorism is a real thing, but I'm also talented and I've accomplished great things. She could say something like that, I guess. But it's like, you can't expect people to know how much colorism is coming into play as far as their success.
I'm not surprised. But Ice Spice has rose to fame very quickly. She hasn't even been out for a full year yet, but she is now currently one of the most streamed female rappers today. Now, the question is, could she have gotten on so quickly if she wasn't light-skinned? I think we all know the answer to that. This is something that the rapper Monaleo pointed out. She did say colorism is a real thing in the industry, and a lot of the lighter-skinned rappers do get more push and attention than their darker-skinned counterparts. So let me kind of point out something interesting here. Ice Spice blew up with her viral hit song Munch last year, and this was the song that got her a deal with 10K Projects. If you don't know, 10K Projects is responsible for blowing up artists like Trippie Redd and Tekashi 6ix9ine. It's also run by Elliot Grange, who happens to be the son of the CEO of the Universal Music Group, Lucian Grange. So Elliot comes from a powerful family in music. So with this powerful connection, Ice Spice has been able to get very far very quickly. And it's interesting because all it took was for her to have one viral hit song, and that was Munch. Now, I want to compare Ice Spice's rise to fame to some other female rappers. There's a few other female rappers who have had viral hit songs on TikTok and social media, and Callie is one of them. Callie has had 2 viral songs, including her song and her latest song, Area Codes, which is still blowing up. Even with those viral hit songs, Callie has yet to reach the level that Ice Spice has reached, and Callie has been out a bit longer than Ice Spice. Now, another artist who has had viral songs is Big Boss Bet. Big Boss Vet's songs Pretty Girls Walk and Snatch have been going viral on TikTok for several months, and she has not reached the level that Ice Spice has reached. Now, why didn't Callie and Big Boss Vet blow up off of their viral hit songs the way that Ice Spice did? Well, one of the factors is because of colorism. Now, I'm not going to say that that's the only factor, of course, because I think Ice Spice in general makes cool music. I do like the fact that she has a unique style, and also she has a great team behind her. So you can't ignore those factors, but I have to ask the question, would Ice Spice have the same reception if she was of a darker skin complexion? I don't really know. Maybe so, but most likely, no. I was actually looking at the BET nominees for Best Female Hip Hop Artist this year, and if you look at the names on the list, most of the women are either light skinned or mixed race. Megan Thee Stallion is the only brown skinned girl on this list. Like, you can't make this up. But at this point, I think we should be past complaining about this and just support the talented dark skinned artists who are really doing their thing. Doechii, in my opinion, is really a force, and she should be the one people should be paying attention to, because she not only has the talent, but she also has some good music as well. I think she and a lot of other talented artists like her deserve support and attention.
With that. I like
now,
that
let me move on to the next topic. There has been some serious tension between the legendary R&B singers Anita Baker and Babyface. Anita kicked Babyface off of her tour, and she also brought up Beyonce into it. Now, what does Beyonce have to do with this? Absolutely nothing. But I'm going to tell you what she said about...
I'm sorry, when I get to a certain age, don't argue with me about shit. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Like, time is ticking. I need to be living in peace and happiness. I don't have time to argue with you in old age. The fuck?
Babyface and Beyonce.
I don't argue with people now.
But first, let me kind of break down what's going on. Anita and Babyface are on tour. Anita is the headliner and Babyface is her special guest. In other words, he's basically her opening act. And I don't know why Babyface agreed to be an opening act, because at this point he should be co-headlining. I mean, he is a legendary singer and songwriter, and he has written hits for artists like Toni Braxton, TLC, Beyonce, Ariana Grande, Whitney Houston. I mean, the list goes on. He even did a collaborative album with some of the new R&B girls called Girls Night Out. And he could actually do a whole festival using this concept. He could give a platform to the newer R&B artists, and people will come out and see them perform. Babyface has the pull and the respect from the industry to do that. So I don't think he should be anybody's opening act, not at this point in his career. I do think he should have been co-headlining the tour with Anita Baker, but at the end of the day, he signed on to be her special guest, and this is her tour. She has the leverage, and she calls the shots. So if something goes wrong, everybody better make sure that Anita is straight before anybody else, okay? And something did go wrong. In fact, not too long ago, Babyface had to cancel his set because of some issues with the production, and he couldn't get to the stage on time. So he said on Instagram that he was asked not to perform in order to give Anita her time and space to perform her show in its entirety. And a lot of people were actually very upset, and I found it even more interesting that the people in the comments were in support of Babyface, especially several celebrities. And I thought to myself, that's kind of interesting to see several celebrities.
Here she go with that bullshit.
When he called out Anita. I thought that was very interesting. But the real reason why Babyface could not perform is because he had technical issues, and he was having a lot of delays, and his time was cutting into Anita's time. And somebody on Anita's team, or one of the promoters, kind of said, no, Anita has to perform her full show. She can't delay her set to accommodate Babyface, and she can't cut her set shorter to wrap up the show on time. She was going to do her full set because at the end of the day, this is her tour. She is the headliner. So I can't say that Anita is completely in the wrong. But I can understand Babyface's disappointment as well. He can't control the technical issues that happen, and a lot of people came out to see him as well. So the fact that he was asked to cancel his set and he wasn't allowed to at least perform a song or two.
Yeah, I was about to say, they should have compromised and just let him perform like at least one of his hits.
Kind of makes it seem like there is a lack of regard for him on this tour, and the fact that Anita was angry enough to remove him altogether kind of shows that there wasn't much respect for him. So I can understand him feeling slighted, and this is not the first time Babyface has felt slighted by Anita. He talked about the time when Anita turned down the songs he wrote for her, and the songs ended up going to Toni Braxton.
You know, Toni ended up getting songs that weren't actually even meant for her. That she, they were written for Anita Baker first. At first, for the Boomerang soundtrack, we wrote Love Should Have Brought You Home.
Oh, that's a great song.
Yes, exactly.
She fumbled.
And that was written, but we wrote that for Anita Baker, and she turned it down. And said, y'all should let that little girl do it. That little girl do it. That little girl.
Toni killed that.
Why did she turn it down?
You should have been with me.
She didn't like it, I guess. It didn't hit her. It didn't seem like it was something she wanted to sing. And then I think we sent her another one, but you mean the world to me. And she turned out with
You mean the world to me. This man, he wrote these songs? Fucking word.
that one too. No.
Sorry.
You mean the world to me. And she turned that one down too, so Tony got that one too.
Well, she
no,
fumbled.
I don't want to do that one either. Let that little girl sing it.
Now, it's a good thing that Anita turned down some of those songs because Tony was able to break through. So if Anita didn't turn down those songs, we probably wouldn't have a Tony Braxton. Also, there was another instance where Babyface felt slighted by Anita. In fact, in 2006, he sued her and claimed that she owed him $250,000.
Anita, what?
He claimed that Anita didn't pay him royalties for the songs that he wrote and produced on her album, and also she breached the contract they had to go on tour together. She canceled 2 of the 4 shows they were supposed to do, and they lost money from that. So he did actually sue her, and eventually they were able to patch things up after that. But I brought this up to kind of show you that she and Babyface have had a history of some tension, and I think to this day Babyface still feels slighted by Anita, which is probably why he hinted that Anita's team asked him to cancel his set, even though he should have clarified that his set was canceled because of technical issues.
Yeah, he kind of put the blame on her.
But people are not going to give Anita the benefit of the doubt because she does have a history of being difficult. Some people claim that she was rude. In fact, I did a video about this some years ago when China Ann McClain called Anita out for being rude to her mother. And also, another singer named Nikki Howard said that Anita was rude to her.
Back then, who was giving you a difficult time? Let's talk about it.
Anita Baker. I received a Soul Train award, and she was, presenting and so forth and so. Right after I got it, and I'm walking backstage, she leans into me and hugs me, whispers in my ear. She says, "Put that on your mantle and keep it dust off, because it's the only one you're gonna get."
Also, it was alleged that Anita had tension with Jill Scott. They were supposed to perform together on VH1's Divas, and they had a disagreement over how they were going to perform Anita's song Sweet Love. And Anita quit the show at the last minute. A lot of people also bring up Anita's infamous feud with Luther Vandross. In fact, she went on tour with Luther, and Luther felt away that Anita refused to do a duet with him. So there was a lot of tension between them, and I really think it was a battle of the egos, mainly because Luther Vandross, he was a diva too, but Luther really wanted to work with Anita, and according to I Love Old School Music, Anita did agree to finally do a duet with Luther, but she pulled out at the last minute. So that was kind of the root of their feud, but they were able to patch things up before Luther passed away. Either way, Anita does have a reputation. So people would be more inclined to believe something negative about her than to believe the truth. The truth is Anita did not cancel Babyface's set. Babyface had his set canceled.
No, I don't want to say that. I hope he's not doing that during the tour. I would have canceled it.
But Anita was fuming with the reports that she canceled Babyface's set. And she was calling out Babyface's fans and calling them Kenny crazies. And then she randomly quote, she was...
Kenny's crazy. Like, oh my, please, baby, please call off your face. How the fuck he supposed to do that, girl? This is stupid. Anita, log the fuck off Twitter, girl. I have been only kind and supportive and these comments are very misplaced. This is ridiculous. Jesus, it's distracting. I have only been kind. And why are you capitalizing? I'm tired of her. I hate when people are grabber police, but this is sad for a woman of her age. Okay, only kind of supportive of you as the special guest support on my tour. Good morning to Kenny Crazies who continue to. Alright, she crazy.
Calling out Babyface's fans and calling them Kenny Crazies. And then she randomly quoted this post about...
Actually, when this came out, everyone talked about how Beyonce was a horrible actor. Girl, what the fuck? Alright,
Beyonce. Now, Beyonce has nothing to do with this whole feud, so this was definitely left field, and people were like, huh?
Girl, what?
She was actually quoting a tweet from the person who was harassing her, and she quoted this unrelated Beyonce tweet and said, he hates Beyonce as well. Kenny's crazies. Trashing me for fighting and winning 20 years ago, trashing Beyonce. Maybe this present moment is why there is a contract as special guest / support for my tour. Babyface, call off your creepy fans. I'm sorry, you're a special guest support. So she's kind of rubbing it in that Babyface.
I know you fucking lying. This is sad.
Act. And she posted this picture about Babyface and his divorce. I don't know why she posted that, but Anita was going in. And when I look at the tweet, I don't know if Babyface hates Beyonce or if she was saying that the fan who was harassing her hates Beyonce. It was kind of hard to follow some of her tweets because they were a bit unclear. But I don't think she had to bring Beyonce in it because now people think that Babyface hates Beyonce. And I don't know if that's true or not. But Either way, the whole situation is a mess.
Ghetto.
And ANITA got so upset at the harassment she was getting that she removed Babyface from her tour altogether. She said after silently enduring cyberbullying / verbal abuse and threats of violence from the fan base of our special guest / support act, in the interest of personal safety, I will continue the songstress tour alone. Appropriate refunds will be made. Blessings. So she removed Babyface from her tour and breached the contract with him all because she was upset at his fans. I mean, this is really ridiculous. ANITA is being ridiculous. Now, she's not wrong for being upset at the fact that Babyface did not say what the real issue was. Babyface kind of made it seem as if ANITA was at fault, when in reality, his set was canceled because of technical issues. So he should have clarified that because people were attacking ANITA for it, and I don't think that was right. But at the same time, ANITA is moving a little wild, too, because she's allowing her emotions to get in the way of her professionalism. And a lot of people were pretty outraged that she dropped Babyface from the tour. In fact, the R&B singer Tank had a few things to say about it.
Alright, you ain't gotta make no video.
He apologized to his fans for not being able to perform after he was told he would not be able to perform. So somehow whatever happens after that is his fault? Now you kick him off the tour? And I want to respect my elder, dude. Don't seem wrong to y'all?
He fine.
Something don't seem wrong about that?
But mind your business.
He didn't do anything.
Now, Babyface did respond to being dropped from her tour. He said, I am saddened by the news that ANITA Baker has decided to remove me from the songstress tour. It's unfortunate and disheartening to see how things have played out via social media. While I was looking forward to the rest of the dates, I have nothing but love and respect for ANITA, and I wish her the best for the remainder of her tour. And in his caption, he put a heartbroken emoji. So I think
Babyface fans really about to harass your ass now. What the fuck?
The situation smart because now he has the public sympathy. And honestly, he should be figuring out a way to headline his own tour. He should never again agree to go on tour with somebody who's willing to kick him to the curb and affect his pockets, all because she's in her feelings about his fan base. Now Babyface has to miss out on a bag, but it's okay. He can make his money elsewhere. And I'm pretty sure he's going to get a payout for the contract breach.
Yeah, I was just about to say that's odd that you could just kick someone off of a tour and it just be that, just because you felt like it. Like, I'm like, aren't there contracts in place that they're going to get to perform for the duration of the tour? You can't just jerk that away from them.
ANITA has to deal with the negative press surrounding her unprofessional antics. She has to handle situations better. She can't be so emotional when it comes to business. Anyway, tell what y'all think about this video now.
Girl, this is just ghetto. Like, girl, what? You are wrong every sense. And all of these random ass tweets, you bringing Beyonce into this. Oh, he hate Beyonce too. And this is how much he got to pay his ex-wife after his divorce. Girl, what the fuck that got to do with anything? Like, it just gives unhinged, like she's off her meds or something. And the way that she was typing, I was just very confused with all the commas, and I'm confused as to what's going on. It makes me feel like she's not in the right headspace at all. Because, girl, what in the fuck? But yeah, she didn't have to kick this man off of the tour, especially when you're claiming it's because of his fans. Call off your crazy fans. What the fuck he supposed to do? He cannot go to their house and force them to stop tweeting at you, girl. And you kicking him off the tour, that's just gonna make them come at you even harder. Do you not understand how this works? This is common sense. Like, what are you talking about? This is stupid. Girl, bye. Going back to the Ice Spice situation, I mean, I already said what I have to say, but in addition, you know, colorism is a real thing. I do, you know, obviously see that a lot of the popular rappers who are women are of a lighter skin complexion for sure. It's a very common thing versus with men, most of them are brown to dark skin, the really popular ones. But with women, they like to keep them light. So I definitely am very well aware that colorism is real, but at the same time, I just don't feel like it should be attributed to everything and everybody who is of lighter skin complexion. And at the same time, you can't expect them to, you know, be like, yeah, I'm only famous because of my skin tone. Of course, they're going to want to defend their place in their career. They're going to want to defend their talents. They're not going to want to be like, yeah, it's because of colorism. So what the fuck do y'all expect her to say? To be like, oh, she's dismissing it and you acting like colorism don't exist. I don't think it's that. I think she's just being like, okay, well, people like me. They like who I am as a person. They like my music, which is valid. They like my body. Very valid things. But, you know, I do feel like her skin complexion plays a role. We can't say how much of it that it plays a role though. We don't fucking know. We can't really measure these things. So there's that. But I definitely feel like there are other dark-skinned female rappers that should be getting a lot more attention. Dolce for sure, but she lost me with Flo Milli. I cannot stand her voice. I don't think her music is good at all. But Dolce, yes. So I mean, it is a thing, but it's like, I don't think it's the only thing, and I don't think we should use it every single time someone who is of lighter skin complexion gets popular. You know, but anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what other videos you want to watch, and I'll see y'all the next time. Bye!